A long time ago, there was a young adventurer somewhere in a parallel universe, and his name was... Well, we're not sure about his real name. All we know is that his nickname was the Swordbreaker. Once, when he was in a tavern spending his last money on a pint of beer, he noticed two men at the next table arguing about something. One of them stood up, smashed a bottle against the table, and stabbed the other one with its jagged edges. The next minute, the villain was gone. The adventurer rushed up to the dying man. In his dead throes, the man grabbed onto the hero's clothes and, just before breathing his last, handed him a scroll. Later, when the hero shut himself in the room he'd rented for the night, he unrolled the scroll, which turned out to be an old map with a castle. The adventurer's face lit up. He was broke and badly needed money. So the next day, he set out on a great journey, full of dangers and chance encounters.
Greetings, programs. My name is Wretch, and I'd like to welcome you to Swordbreaker, an interactive fiction game that just released on Steam yesterday. One of the things that really drew me to this game was the awesome comic book art style. And the premise of the game, well, you saw through that intro, we are a down-on-our-luck hero, and we found a map to this mysterious castle, and we're going to go look for the loots. So, let's go ahead and do a new game, and see what exactly is going on here. Choose your path, read the story, press to watch full picture. Press to open menu and watch your progress. Alright. After a long and tiring journey, the hero approached a huge ancient castle. From the look of it, the castle had been abandoned many centuries ago, but something gave him a mysterious feeling he wasn't alone. The adventurer saw an open window on the second floor. Which way to go? Walk through the gates or climb in through the window? I really like the music. It has kind of an old silent movie soundtrack vibe to it. So, do we go through the gates or through the window? Let's go ahead and announce ourselves. We're an adventurer. We will go through the main gates. The hero found himself in the castle courtyard. It was in ruins and desolate. Everything was covered with a thick layer of dust. Among the clutter on the floor, the hero noticed a manhole leading to the sewers. There was also a door nearby. What is your choice? Man, we've barely gotten into the game and we have to go down into the sewers. I hate sewers. Let's go through the main door. We will go with option 1. Hello? Through the oak doors, the hero cautiously stepped into a spacious hall. Armor, weapons hanging on the walls, torn curtains on the windows, it seemed, but there was no one there. All of a sudden, a ghost of a naked girl appeared before him out of thin air. She floated up to the adventurer and said, "Hello, I'm the maid. Why did you come to the castle?" This made his eyes pop out. Nice ass, he thought. But what should he say to her? Well then, Mr. Dirk Daring. I don't think we're going to take option 3. What is this castle called and who's the owner? Curious. This castle belongs to Neo the Fourth. He spends all his time in the treasury full of stolen jewels. He hasn't left the vault with the biggest and most expensive diamond in the world for more than 1,500 years. He asked me not to disturb him. The castle itself is throbbing with life. Well, if you call it life, that is. When the Lord left, the castle was occupied by a band of necromancers from the dead slumber. Some of the things to see in the castle are the kitchen, the prison, the torture chamber, the library, the armory, the Lord's chambers, the portal chamber, and other magnificent examples of the ancient art. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Okay. Wait a minute. We went through that again. Ah, okay. So that just gave us an option to talk to. Where's the library? Don't want to be rude. "Follow me," said the maid. The adventurer entered a huge library filled with ancient books and scrolls. There must be something worthwhile if you read it, but the hero knew nothing about books and could hardly spell. Nice pun. The library was dead silent. At the end of the hall, he saw a door which said, "Librarian." Should he delve into the books or go straight to the librarian? Well, we really don't want to find a copy of the Necronomicon here, so let's go talk to the librarian. Oh, he's an orc. When the hero was entering the librarian's office, he accidentally knocked a book down with his sword. "Stay where you are, you dumbhead! You're in the library! Keep it down! Will you?" The orc-like creature howled when he heard the thud. So, this must be the librarian, thought the adventurer. He's probably very smart. He must know the way to the treasury. Should he say sorry or punish him for being so obnoxious? Let's go ahead and apologize. We don't know if, how orcs are seen in this world. "I'm really sorry, I didn't mean it," said the hero. "Oh, forget it. If you want to survive and don't mind helping me on the way, go to the archives and bring me that old textbook on nuclear physics. I wouldn't go there myself, I'm too afraid of bugs," said the librarian. Fetch the book or kill him. So we are going to be taking on a giant bug. Let's go look for the book. The hero walked to the door leading to the archives. Should he open it and forget it, or get out of there while the librarian is not around? Let's go ahead and get on with it. Uh-oh. As soon as he entered the archives, the hero saw why the librarian was so reluctant to go there. Roaches. Lots and lots of them were scurrying around the room. One of the bugs, a really huge one, was getting closer and closer to the adventurer. Should he chop its legs or head off? Or maybe it's better to scare the roach by crushing the smaller ones. Ooh. Let's go ahead and thrust at its legs. The adventurer cut off the roach's right leg, but that didn't stop the monster, and the next moment it sank its mandibles into the hero's flesh. Whoops. Well then. That was a bad call. Let's try that again, and it lets you start from the last place. So that's cool. Alright, now we know to cut its head off because mandibles are bad. Book friend and cockroach. The adventurer cut the roach's head in two while beating the bugs off with his other hand. When the small roaches saw their leader dead, they scattered. As soon as the hero found the book, he heard the librarian's voice from behind. "I don't know how to thank you," he said, and grabbed the book from the hero's hands. "With my magical powers, I can send you to the dining hall or to our garden. So, where do you want to go?" he asked. Let's go... to the garden or to the dining hall? Let's try the garden. The hero entered a magnificently large garden enclosed with a glass dome. Many windows were broken, others were too dirty. To the right and to the left of the path were different plants unknown to the adventurer. Then he noticed some watering cans down the path, and to his right, a beautiful withering flower. Should the hero water it? Sure, what could possibly go wrong? Oh crap. The kind-hearted adventurer took the watering can and watered the withering flower. As soon as he felt the water, the flower raised its petals and suddenly shot a cloud of spores at the hero. When the spores got into his lungs, the adventurer felt sick, started to suffocate, and a moment later, fell breathless onto the floor. Death by asthma. So, we know to ignore the flower? This is just going to be an exhibition on how many times my hero is going to die here. The hero decided to stay away from the weird flower and went on. Good choice. A little further ahead in the bushes, he saw a huge flower in a beautiful pot perched on a pedestal. The flower itself looked and smelt disgusting. Should the adventurer approach the flower or make his way through the bushes and quietly leave the garden? Yeah, that doesn't look like a Venus flytrap at all. Should we go ahead? Yeah, why not? Let's walk up to the flower. It's going to be like Dragon's Lair. Just how many times are we going to die? The adventurer went up to the horrible flower. As soon as it felt the hero's presence, it opened its mouth to try to attack him. Huh, that's not very friendly. I'll have to destroy you, thought the hero, and prepared for battle. Should he cut its stem or let the flower swallow him? Wow. That's an interesting choice. Let's be a little bit reckless. Let's get inside the flower. The adventurer took a running jump, and when the flower opened its mouth, drew his knees to his chest and threw himself inside. When the flower clenched its jaws, it tried to swallow the hero, but he had his sword at the ready, determined to destroy the plant. Should he make the flower suffocate or chop it with his sword? Ooh, let's do sword attack. Wildflower. The hero plunged his sword into the stem from the inside while cutting through the plant's mouth with the Swordbreaker. A minute later, the flower was defeated and the adventurer tumbled out onto the floor. He tidied himself up a bit and went on his way. Holy crap. The adventurer found himself in a massive hall with a hole in one of the walls. Among some rubble, he saw a large metal disc with shining lights around its surface. There was smoke coming out of the saucer. It had been clearly damaged. Next to it was a strange greenish big-eyed creature sitting on a rock. It looked very sad. Should the adventurer sneak past the creature or talk to it? Oh, we are talking to the Martian. The hero decided to talk and went up to the creature. "Hi, what's your name? Where do you come from?" asked the hero.
"Greetings, Earthling. I'm Zet. I'm one of the Magacates, a humanoid race. I deliver ammunition for Alien Tech Interstellar Corporation, AT for short. In case you're not aware, there's a war going on between the Interstellar Confederation and the Free Planets Coalition. The Confederation is losing at the moment. We don't have enough weapons. So our corporation has commissioned Hans, the local blacksmith, to supply nuclear rockets for the IC. I've come here to pick up the rockets, but on my way to the castle, something went wrong with the autopilot, and my spaceship crashed into the wall instead of landing in the courtyard. Now the ship is badly damaged. I've sent out an SOS and will now have to wait for our guys to respond," said the alien.
Wow. The adventurer could hardly follow Zet, indeed.
"Why am I telling you this? As if I tried to explain the...
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that.
and wave theory of light to you. A countryman like you won't get it anyway. The only thing you could do for me is clear the debris," said Zet.
Should the adventurer help him, pretend to be really busy, or tell him to get lost? Let's go ahead and help Mr. Zet here. "Okay, I can help you with that," said the adventurer, "so help me if you try to probe me." So they set to work together, the alien from one side and the hero from the other. They were almost done when the spaceship suddenly skidded down the rubble towards the adventurer. Should he run for his life or warn Zet? Ooh. Well, we should probably get out of the way fast, but let's give Zet a heads up. We'll probably die. As soon as the hero called Zet, the alien pressed a button on his suit and the adventurer got teleported to the other end of the room.
"Thanks for your help. Just give me a shout if you need me, okay?" said Zet.
Now the hero could go on. We have an alien friend. That was very bizarre. The next moment, the hero found himself in a spacious, luxurious room with a magnificent bed next to the wall. This was the chamber of Lord Neo IV himself. The adventurer felt some dark vibes from this place. It was as if someone was watching him. What should he do next? Rummage through the wardrobe for something useful, or lie down on the bed and take a nap? No, I remember that from Dungeon Escape. Sleeping on the bed is a bad thing. Let's take a look inside the wardrobe. To Narnia! Oh dear. No time for sleep now, he thought the hero, and started rummaging through the wardrobe. Clothes everywhere. Nothing useful. Then the adventurer felt cold metal against his neck. He hadn't noticed the succubus who'd sneaked up behind him to slit his throat with her dagger. Now that he was dead, the hero could sleep as much as he liked. He had all the time in the world. I see. Oh, you're dead. Dead. Oh, so we have lives. Death scene opened 3 out of 124, and 22 out of 324 scenes. Holy crap. You was hero, indeed. Well, let's go ahead and try a new game, guys. I am going to go through the exact same path that we went through before, and I'm going to see what happens if we actually sleep. So, be right back. So, we're back in the bedroom, and this time with no lives lost. Let's go ahead and get some sleep now. I don't know how many lives we have. I guess 3? Hello, nurse. It's nice to see you without you slitting my throat. The adventurer lay down on the magnificent bed and fell asleep. In his dream, he was in a strange place called the astral world. Once inside, the hero found himself at a spectacular otherworldly room. Suddenly, a beautiful girl appeared before him out of thin air, beckoning him. Should he approach her? We can call Zet. Oh, I guess that's what that means. We can call for help. Yeah, no way. We are not getting near the succubus. I know you. You're that damn succubus who wasted so many lives in this castle, shouted the hero. Oh, do you? Well then, you just gave me another reason to kill you, said the succubus, smiling at the adventurer. The demoness summoned a whip and gave it a wave. Should the adventurer dash away from it or try to fend it off with a sword? Ew. Let's try to escape the whip, because that's going to wrap around and rip the sword out of his hand. Well, crap. Ah, that's what the lives mean. Alright. The adventurer tried to run away from the succubus, but her whip caught up with the hero, twisting itself around his neck. As the snare started to strangle him, succubus gave it a jerk and pulled the whip. The adventurer was too weak to strike back and choked to death. I see what's going on. Okay. Well, that wasn't how my logic ran. Okay, ward off the whip. When the adventurer saw the whip coming at him, he waved his sword and cut off its end. The next second, he threw his sword at the demoness, but the succubus deftly moved aside. Now that he lost his sword, what should the hero do? Dash to the demoness and strike her with a Swordbreaker, or see what she's going to do next? Let's try a Swordbreaker attack. Ah! Without thinking twice, the hero rushed to the demoness and plunged his Swordbreaker into her flesh. Succubus let out a moan and sagged to the floor. When her body began to disappear, the adventurer found himself still lying on the bed. Then he got up and went on his way. I'm really liking this so far. The adventurer entered a dark room. In the corner there was a man in black armor sitting on a chair. The room didn't have any more doors. In the other corner he noticed a glowing magical portal. This must be the portal room. Who are you? Asked the hero. I'm Sylvester. I am the Knight of the Temple of Fate. It is my job to protect the portal from the necromancers, said the man. Oh, I was just looking for them, and for the treasury. Will you let me through? Asked the adventurer. Only if you can choose your path. How did you prove yourself? Who did you help? Did you kill a lot? Or maybe you have a yellow streak down your back. I can read you like a book, you know. This room will lead you to your destiny. Prepare yourself and enter the portal, said the knight. Okay, let's enter the portal. I guess, that one? Greatest hero. Ooh. The hero entered the glowing portal, and the reality warped around him. When the adventurer opened his eyes again, he found himself in a small room with a window. This must be one of the castle towers. What kind of trial is that? The hero wondered. Then he heard the Knight of the Temple of Fate. You are a brave and kind-hearted warrior. You have helped many in this castle and even spared some in the battle. So in the trial you deserve, you will have to face the astral demon that lives in this tower and keeps a kidnapped princess as his prisoner. If you defeat the demon, you will bask in glory for years to come, said the knight. The next moment the skies opened, and the astral demon with a flaming sword entered the room through the space rift. Should the hero attack the demon or talk? Ooh, no, we don't talk with demons. That's bad. Very bad. The adventurer rushed into the attack, but some mysterious force lifted him up in the air. It was the work of the astral demon and his magic power. As the demon was getting closer and closer, the hero had to decide what to do next. Throw his sword at the monster or wait till he's near. I don't want the demon to get near. I guess we will throw the sword? Crap. The hero threw his sword at the demon, but he saw it coming and spewed out flames, melting the sword and burning the adventurer alive. Good times. So, I guess we will wait until said demon is near. The adventurer waited patiently for the astral demon to come closer, and when he did, the hero plunged his sword into the demon and crushed his skull with the Swordbreaker to make sure he was dead. The astral demon started to vanish in the air, the spell was lifted, and the hero tumbled down onto the floor. The adventurer gathered his strength and entered the second room in the tower. Inside he saw an iron door with a huge padlock. Behind the door he heard someone crying. Should the adventurer knock it down with his sword or pick it with a nail? Let's try to open the lock with a nail. Let's be a little bit subtle. Huzzah! What if it's a trap? Thought the hero and picked up a nail. A couple of minutes later, he managed to open the door. He entered a tiny room and saw a gorgeous girl in a magnificent dress lying on a bed. She stopped crying and looked at the adventurer. "Who are you? What do you need?" she asked cautiously. "I've come for you. There's no time to explain. Come on, I have to take you to a safe place," said the adventurer. "But I can't leave the room. The Lord of Necromancers will find me anyway," she said. "Right, then I'll go and slit this old perv's throat and come back," said the adventurer and headed for the exit. "Wait, let me give you my blessing or you won't sustain the Necromancer's curse. By the way, I'm Princess Anastasia," she said. Should the adventurer agree? Oh, absolutely agree. "Sure, it won't hurt me," said the adventurer. Anastasia whispered something, waved her hands, and gave him a kiss on the cheek. "That was just a preview," she said, blushing. The hero climbed down the spiral stairs and entered the throne room. The necromancer was standing in the middle. "I see you've prepared well. My spell has no effect on you," the Lord said in surprise. "Yes, I know what you're up to," said the adventurer. "Oh, right. You must have met my niece, beautiful Anastasia. Do you like her? She's going to be my wife soon, and together we will have such power you can't even imagine," said the necromancer. "Yes, she is good. Too good to be yours, I'd say, so I'll keep her to myself instead. As for you, take this." The hero cried angrily and attacked the warlock, while the necromancers cast a spell. Should the adventurer rush to the Lord or throw his sword at him? Let's go ahead and try and throwing the sword. It didn't work with the demon. Crap. By the time the adventurer threw his weapon, the necromancer had finished with the spell, freezing the sword in the air. The next moment it turned around and with a slight push from the Lord, whooshed back to the hero. The sword was so fast he didn't even realize how it all happened. Death is always a sad outcome, but death from your own sword makes it pathetic. And we are dead. 34 scenes opened and 6 death scenes. You was hero. Okay, well then, let's go ahead and head back to... We'll try this one more time. Now, we know throwing the sword never works. We have that down in our memory. So let's just run up to the warlock. The adventurer decided not to waste time and went for the Lord. The necromancer saw it coming and sent a lightning bolt at him, but the hero had a narrow escape from the charge. Now he is ready to attack the warlock with a Swordbreaker. Should he thrust at him from the top or knock the Lord down? Let's attack from the top. Crap! The hero took a running jump at the Lord, but something stopped him in midair. The air thickened around him, forming a dark cloud. The adventurer was unable to move, suspended above the ground. And when the necromancer finished with the spell, the cloud froze together with the hero. The next second, the huge chunk of ice collapsed to the floor, breaking into small pieces with parts of the adventurer's body inside. That was an awful death, but a great idea for ice cubes at a hero-themed party in the castle. Indeed. So, that was horrible. Let's tackle him. That nice Goldberg spear. The adventurer decided to tackle the necromancer, which took him by complete surprise. The warlock fell on his back, hitting his head against the floor. However, that didn't stop him for long, and they struggled on. The Lord raised his black dagger, aiming at the hero's chest, but the adventurer grabbed his wrist just in time. Should he turn the dagger around or hit the warlock with his knee? Let's try and turn the dagger. That's how it normally happens in fight scenes. Yes! The adventurer braced himself for the fight and Lord of Necromancers, began twisting the necromancer's wrists. He finally managed to turn the dagger around, grab the handle, and stab the warlock in the heart. The strength left the necromancer, and his heart stopped. The adventurer threw the dead body off himself and went for the exit. That's when he thought about the treasury, but then remembered Princess Anastasia. Was it really the diamond he was looking for in the castle? Why would he need a huge gem anyway? The hero opened the door to the tower and saw Anastasia. There was no need to explain. She looked him in the eye and threw herself into his arms, kissing him. The brave adventurer realized no treasure in the world was worth more than true love. He took the princess and led her out on the same way he'd come to the tower. Epilogue. Oh, this is one of the endings. Cool. This is how the story ends for the brave adventurer. The hero brought Princess Anastasia home and married her. Well, good for him. Need to settle down. Kind of stay away from naked maid ladies. They had a splendid wedding, and the whole city was invited at the feast. The townsmen celebrated their new prince, glorifying his deeds for centuries to come. I forgot she was a princess. Well, you got money and the girl too. Good job, Swordbreaker. As for the Swordbreaker, he was absolutely happy he had found his true treasure after all. I think this is probably one of the best endings in the game, I would imagine. Awesome. Well, that was pretty fun, I have to say. Alright guys, well that is Swordbreaker, and as you saw through my numerous death animations, or death scenes, there was a lot more things to look at in the game, and a lot more death scenes. So it's kind of like Dragon's Lair, but it's that huge choose-your-own-adventure game. And I like the fact that you have the 3 lives. The 3 lives make it a really, really cool premise, and the artwork is amazing. If there was like 200 and something death scenes and 200 other scenes inside the castle, props to all the artists or artists who worked on it. And this is a game by Ducat's Game Studio, and they've done a really, really good job on it. But I would strongly suggest it is a very, very cheap game on Steam. I would strongly suggest going ahead and getting a copy yourself and seeing where your adventure takes you. So I will go ahead and end the episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like down below. Subscribe to the... Well, let's hold on real quick. You found your own path to treasures of the castle. See, there's 324 scenes and 124 death scenes, and I was indeed a hero. So I strongly suggest, guys, that you get the game. I think it's like $2.99 on Steam right now, and I'm sure there's tons of different endings and tons of different ways of going. I just ran into this princess one just on pure luck. But, like I said, just check it out. I think you guys will enjoy it. If you liked the video, go ahead and click like down below. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. That'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.